Welcome to His and Hers Perspectives.
And let's look at the mind state of women and how it shifted, because it went from, no, I don't want to work, to now, be independent, sis. I get the bag, sis. I got my own, sis. You see where that has gone in a few short generations?
Yes, and again, like you were saying, like, we don't even know what's coming in the future. What's good, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the His and Hers Perspectives podcast. Now, we are going to continue with the previous discussion and, provide some solutions in how we can fix or begin to fix the issue between Black men and women and this massive divide between us. How can we bridge the gap? So if you guys haven't yet checked out the previous videos, definitely check the description. I'll also try and link it in the cards above as well, so you can get caught up, because in this part, we're going to talk about solutions, and I'm just going to ask my lovely husband some questions, and hopefully we can have this dialogue. And we want you guys to be, and not entertaining, but engaging in the comments with your perspectives on how we can fix this problem that we are faced with. Definitely. So I got some notes here.
Right. And before we get started, again, definitely make sure you catch the previous video, because this is the last video segues into this one. And just for context and clarity, it'd be ideal to check that one out first. So make sure you go ahead and check that one out. I want you to pause right now, stop whatever it is you're doing, and make sure to like the video. Everybody, hit that like button. It's free. It don't cost you nothing.
Yes.
It don't cost you nothing at all.
It don't cost you anything. And even subscribing, it don't cost you anything. And when you subscribe, you want to hit that notification button so that you get notified every single time we drop.
Straight like that.
Okay, and with no further ado, I'm gonna jump straight into questions, right? So, considering what we've spoken about, how that it's not only just a welfare check that divided the Negro man and woman, but also that this was something going on from further back. I want to ask you, what's the solution in fixing this problem?
Right. So obviously, with such a problem that has been mounting and mounting and mounting for many centuries.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say many decades and many years, but to be more specific, centuries. It's been centuries already. The first and foremost, we have to, realize and place the problem in its right context, because we tend to play the blame game. There's areas of YouTube where women claim it's the men, and there's areas on YouTube where the men put the fault solely on the women, right? So that starts and ends with education, right? We have to educate ourselves. We have to be historians. We have to put on those historian caps and start to look back and realize how this thing started to unfold. And then then after that, what we have to do is realize, listen, everybody not gonna get it.
So we have to find like-minded people.
You have to find like-minded people. Circle getting, like Nip said, circle getting smaller. Everybody can't go, right? Everybody can't go. It's just not going to work like that. So everybody can't go. Like it's not going to happen that way. Therefore, we start to.
And it was at this moment that I lost connection, but he was soon able to resume.
Trim down, right? We start to trim down, and we start to deal in our own little pockets of like-minded people.
Babe?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh no, you were frozen, so we didn't really hear what you said. You were frozen.
Right. So what
you
we're
were
gonna do?
Find like-minded people.
Right. We're gonna cut those circles down. We're gonna trim those circles down, and we're going to start dealing with like-minded people. Listen, guys, if the people that you're dealing with on a daily basis don't exude the same type of vibe that you put out, if they're not on the same page as you are, if they're not with the same ideals and vibrating on the same frequency that you are, it's time to start cutting these people off, because you don't want to have a clean spirit just to go play in the mud. You know what I mean? Like,
nice.
You don't want that. You don't want that. So that's what we have to do. We have to start trimming the fat, and we have to start finding like-minded people. That is.
Yeah. And like you. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just pretty much going to repeat myself again. So
okay, no, because I was saying, because like you said, find like-minded people, and as you mentioned that there was Black Wall Street before and all of those things. So find like-minded people and build self-sustaining businesses to continue. So I know you were saying that before when we were discussing the topic. So I just wanted you to elaborate on that part as well, why it's important, and that will help us to not have our women in the workforce no more, because back then. So I don't know if you want to take the reins on that.
So, just to elaborate a little bit more on how that can be achieved. And again, remember, guys, this is not exhaustive. These are just, our opinions and views on what can be solutions for us, right? So first and foremost, we have to empower our women and make them feel comfortable and happy being stay-at-home moms again. That is very essential when it comes to the resolution that we're looking for. We have to have our women in the homes, looking after the children, ensuring that the values that we see fit are being instilled in our family units, and that our little boys are being raised in the proper way to be good young men, and that our little girls are being raised in the ways to be good young women. That is key. We have to break the cycle. We have to break the chain of what we see today in Western society and in the world as a whole. We have to break that, and it starts at home. That is obvious by what they did whenever they pulled the man out of the home, and then subsequently pulled the woman out of the home and forced her into the workforce. So that's one thing. We find those like minds, and on the simple basic level, we have to start with the family structure.
Yeah, and what I would like to add to that is, and women, don't become too overly, excessive in your requirements, because this crazy requirement. Oh, he needs to be doing this. He needs to be making this. You need to buy me. What did we watch that video? The woman said she wanted a $200,000 engagement ring because she needs someone to see from across the road. Like, girl, stop the foolishness. Because in order to build these self-sustaining businesses, women, you need to also know and understand that you have to be there with some realistic expectations to help, the building of the society. And then you can live this lavish life that you want, but you have to be realistic in understanding that you can't put this burden on the man to give you some ridiculous expectations.
And that's the thing, right? Like, nice things will come. If you're on board and if you guys are working as a team, and then furthermore as a community, because again, the whole premise of this is to step away from these communities and create a fringe community of our own, to where the ideals are very similar, very close. The passions, the morality, all of these things are very close and suitable for the community. And when we start to build these businesses, when we start to build these structures in order to maintain ourselves, self-sustaining, that means, some of these children need to learn and be educated in herbal medicine. They need to be educated in nutrition. Need to be educated in
how
so
the
many
body
things.
functions, how it works.
Right, carpentry, architecture, things of that nature. Like these are all things that obviously, if society look at it like this, right, this will give you a pretty clear idea of the skills that are needed. If society crumbled right now, what would be needed to rebuild it?
Please be sure to engage with the content by leaving a comment, hitting the like button, sharing, and subscribing if you're not already subscribed. And if you would like for us to discuss a particular topic, then go ahead and send us an email at hisandhersperspectives@gmail.com.
Right? So if you give yourself a good think of those things, those occupations, those jobs, those services, what can you not live without? Those are the things to instill and to teach your children for the future.
Yes, and what I want to add to that, the importance of homeschooling as well, is that when you are homeschooling your child or children, you get to see what they're interested in, right? And you can, continue to develop that and nurture that, or you can show them certain things and implement certain things into their lives that they then take an interest in, and then it will be used to better the future. But when you put them in these public schools, which the education system, we definitely have to do a video on the book that you recommended in the previous video. Oh my God, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, because it speaks about how the education system is deliberately engineered again to keep the poor poor. But and another reason why they wanted to take the woman out the household, so that they're not teaching their children the right skills and, seeing what their children like, so that they can develop that interest even more, is to, God, I feel like my brain just kind of.
They're creating an assembly line of workers.
Yes. So
they're creating workers. They're making all of these young children be prepared to jump right into the workforce and to basically live mediocre lives and just be able to, to do simple tasks and be told what to do and think that it's normal. That's what they're doing. That's what's being developed.
And then as a parent, when you know what your children like and you can nurture them in that particular way. For example, we homeschool our children, and our oldest, he is very interested in science. He is so intrigued by the body. He is intrigued by how things work. And he can listen. He can tell you stuff about outer space. He can tell you stuff about how the body functions. He knows where certain organs are in the body. He knows the function of this. So now that we are aware of what we do, we hone in on that knowledge of what he's interested in. And we, provide an education for him in that regard. So he could go up and become a doctor, or he could work in the science field or whatever. But you see, when you put your children in school, you don't know what they like. You don't even know how they learn and all of those things.
Very general. And then they don't get one-to-one time. It's so many distractions. Oh, it's just a mess. It's a mess.
And our second oldest, oh my God, he surprised us when he started talking Russian. Was it Russian? Yeah.
Russian.
And I thought he was babbling. I was like, what are you saying? And then he started writing some weird stuff. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And then, our oldest son, were like, oh no, that's this alphabet. And they started learning the Coptic alphabet. They'd be learning some stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. And what we ended up doing is buying books where they can learn more Russian, learn more this, learn more that.
By all means.
And, they love to read. Our daughter, she's an art. Oh, she could, if you see what she could draw at 3, like this is crazy. But we are able to hone in on these things and help them become, functioning adults in the future. And this is why it's important for you to homeschool your children and help them learn the things that they want to learn. And you can help build society, the society.
Exactly. But you have to look at it in the grand scheme and realize that you are helping shape and build our tribe, right?
Yes.
Like you're literally helping build the future. You know what I'm saying? The future sustainability of us as a collective.
Definitely.
If you're appreciating the content and would like to show your support, consider becoming a channel member or sending a super chat, super sticker, super thanks, or alternatively, sending a cash app to #his/hers perspectives.